What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Sydney, aka Shawty That Reads. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with y'all the 25 books that I have read this year, going from the ones that I liked the least to the ones that I liked the best. Okay, that's the order that we're going in. Because I set a goal to read 50 books this year, and I'm really excited to be at the halfway point, even though like I should say 25 going on 28, because I'm reading Song of Solomon by Toni Morrison right now, and that will be book 28, which is like crazy to me because last year I read 30 books and I'm like almost there 6 months into this year, so crazy. But let's get started. Number 25, The Dragon, the Giant, the Women by Waiatu Moore. I read this book on my Kindle, which is why I don't have it in the video, but while it was an interesting read, it didn't really leave me like wanting more or like feeling that much the way that other personal memoirs I've read have made me feel. So that's why I'm so sorry, but I had to be at the bottom of the list because I love books that make me feel something, and I was kind of just happy to be done with it when I was done. Number 24, The Margot Affair by Sine Lemoine. Y'all, when I bought this, I really wanted to like it, okay? I was really excited to read it because, look, it's the hidden daughter of a long-standing affair. She exists with her mother in the shadows, living in a small Parisian apartment on the left bank. So we're in Paris, it's cute. I was initially interested in like the dynamics of like what a family looks like when you're like the secret family. But to be honest with you, I didn't really love Margot, and the book takes a really weird turn towards it where I'm just like, why did that have to happen? But y'all know I like to smoke when I read. I had the munchies, y'all, like no other when I was reading this because the food that they eat in the book, oh my God, it just sounded so good. So I literally made vegan hot chocolate and dipped buttered bread into it, vegan buttered bread into it, because that's what the main character Margot had to eat like for breakfast. It was like a comfort food at breakfast, and I was like, damn, they eating like that in Paris? Hot chocolate for breakfast? Like, I can do that. So yeah, I made that, and then I made like a pancetta pasta thing going on because there's a lot of ham and cheese and pastas in here. Like, you're gonna be hungry. You're gonna be hungry. So it wasn't my favorite fiction novel, but I guess I could say it's an interesting summer read if you're ready to kind of like go down the rabbit hole just a little bit. Number 23, The Gilded Ones by Namina Forna. Now, normally I'm all about young adult, especially young adult fantasy and adventure. And I did like this book. I wanted to finish it. I just didn't really connect with the main character that much. I felt she was a little naive, but given the genre, you know, like you can expect that. So I just had a few moments where I'm like, why are y'all doing that? But it's like, oh, you're 15. You're 15. But it's kind of the funny thing about young adult is like they're going through all these like crazy circumstances and like all these like trials and tribulations, and they're 15 years old and they're doing the damn thing. So fun read. Definitely not my like favorite YA book, but if a second one comes out, I might buy it. Number 22 and number 21 are going to be a 2-for-1 special because they are in a series. So we have Children of Blood and Bone and Children of Virtue and Vengeance by Tomi Adeyemi. I liked the first one definitely better than the second book, but I think that's just because I always tend to like the first book better, just because I feel like it's the most action-packed. You're getting to know the characters and you're either going to love them, hate them, or just not be interested in them, right? So Children of Blood and Bone, I absolutely loved. It was like impossible to put down. Zelia and Amari are just like, you low-key want to be their best friend, but they also be getting on your nerves. Like, it's like you feel like they're your sisters, you know? So you like go through that back and forth relationship with them. There's love, there's betrayal, like it's a whole lot of drama, which is why I think that's why I liked these a little bit better than the Gilded Ones, because that one didn't have nearly as much drama as these two. So yes, I would highly recommend these. I think you'd have, or anyone would have a great time reading them. It's just the third book isn't out yet. So, you know, when you start a series and the next book hasn't come out and you're kind of sitting here losing your mind, like, yeah, that's where I'm at with these. But They're amazing and so freaking beautiful. So nice to have on your bookcase to be like, look, guys, like, look how cute my books are. Number 20, Mexican Gothic by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. This is a fiction novel. I forgot to mention all of the previous books that I have discussed already were all fiction except for number 25. That was a personal memoir. So getting back to this one, this is fiction. It's also horror. Okay, horror is the order of the day in Mexican Gothic, but it is set in I believe 50s Mexico. So there's like an air of like romance to it that makes the horror for me a little bit easier to digest, because there were some moments where I'm just like, oh no, I can't do this. But it was interesting enough to keep me going and to keep me interested. And it was fun. I just couldn't read it at night. I have a full review of this on my channel, and I'm like, you guys, we match. She totally jocked my style. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Number 19, Gods of Jade and Shadow by Sylvia Moreno Garcia again. So I read Mexican Gothic, and then I just wanted to see like what else she could do as an author. So that's why I bought Gods of Jade and Shadow. It's very different. This is inspired by Mexican folklore. So it's very fairy tale like, and I think that's why I put this one above Mexican Gothic, because I'm like, I love fairy tales. I'm like a little kid, so I loved that aspect. And you know, the thought of going on an adventure with like a fine Mayan god, like I wasn't mad at that at all. Number 18, Black is the Body, Stories from My Grandmother's Time, My Mother's Time, and Mine by Emily Bernard. I already have a full review of this book up on my channel because we read this for Shadi's book club. It was actually the first book that we all voted on and discussed and decided on together. And we all really enjoyed it. This book definitely highlights the healing power of storytelling. There were a lot of essays that were very powerful and that a lot of us resonated with. However, the only thing, I don't want to say issue, the only thing we were left wondering was like who exactly her audience is. But you know, that can be left up to interpretation. All in all, really great read. Number 17, The Archer by Paulo Coelho. I was so excited because I actually found this book at the flea market, and I've never like purchased a used book from a flea market before because then I can never find anything I like, you know? So it's only $10. I love Paulo Coelho because I read The Alchemist. Can I say I love an author if I've only read them once? I love The Alchemist. So this was a really easy, very easy read. I think I read this in only 2 sittings on Instagram Live because I have a little web series on there called Shadi Speaks. I smoke, I read live from the book. It's a good time. Go follow me if you don't. But I just love the way this book is set up. So it's like really easily digestible paragraphs. And it's all about like, you know, hard work, passion, willingness to fail, and like really what it takes to be in control of your reality. So yeah, I love it so much. True to fashion, it's told in like parable form. So really easy to swallow, very fun to read. Number 16, The Fifth Agreement by Don Miguel Ruiz and his son, Don Jose Ruiz. So cute. They hopped on a book together. Cute. These men are so knowledgeable and spiritual, and I'm like, they're so cute. But I love the book. They recap the first 4 agreements. So if you've read the 4 agreements, highly recommend reading the 5th one. Very deep, very transformative. I enjoyed it. And it's definitely one that I'm going to have to read again because, I mean, any self-help or spiritual book that you pick up, you should definitely probably read it more than once. Number 15, I do not have with me because I let a dear, dear friend of mine borrow it, but I did reread The House on Mango Street by Sandra Cisneros, and it was absolutely amazing. I think it's one of the best fiction novels ever written. Novella. Can we call it a novella? It's like not even 100 pages, but that book is forever like near and dear to my heart. Number 14, Luster by Raven Leilani. You guys, when I bought this book, I was ready for like some juicy fiction, some smut. Okay, the main character is involved with a man in an open relationship. You soon find out that she's actually really, really depressed. And there's a lot of mixed reviews on this book, but there's this detached writing style that I feel helps the reader understand how depressed and detached the main character Edie is. So I really loved the language. I loved how weird it was and how strange and erotic it was, because I feel like it just really paints the picture of this woman who's an artist, and like she's a tortured soul, and she is kind of weird, and she's just like really going through it. This is rock bottom, I feel, this book. It's definitely not what I expected when I picked it up, but I wasn't mad at it. Was not mad at it at all. Number 13, Pieces Every Step by Thich Nhat Hanh. As y'all know, we love Thich Nhat Hanh over here. I sell You Are Here on my website, shadireads.com. You can go check out my bookstore. But Pieces Every Step was very helpful for me at a time when I feel like I was kind of lacking in self-awareness. This teaches you how to be at peace with your emotions, how to accept them, get through them, let them go, and how to make better decisions and come from an empowered place when you make decisions, because sometimes these emotions block us, and we don't want to block our blessings. He also offers a lot of really helpful meditations for when your phone's ringing, for when you get in the car, when you're washing the dishes, eating a tangerine. His books are always so beautiful and so simple, and I would definitely highly recommend this one for anyone who's looking for a little more peace in their lives. Number 12, The Spirit of Intimacy, Ancient African Teachings and the Ways of Relationships by Salvage the Bones. I loved reading this book. I read a portion of it on Shadi Speaks. If you really want to get into intimacy and spirit and what spirit does in relationships and what spirit even means, I highly recommend this book. I was trying to get my hands on this for a long time, and it's definitely changed my views on relationships and intimacy, whether you're talking about romantic relationship or friendship. So go read it. Number 11 is Sing Unburied, Sing by Jesmyn Ward. I've already done a full review of this book on my channel. It was absolutely amazing fiction novel. She has this way of writing where you feel whisked away and you feel like you're really there with her characters. And she finds a way to write them where they're so human, you cannot help but love every single one of them. So highly recommend. Number 10, Twisted, The Tangled History of Black Hair Culture by Emma Dabiri. We read this for Shadi's book club. We loved it. General consensus, everyone needs to read this book. Required reading. Yes, you guys, it's one of those books. We learned so much more than we expected to learn. It's nonfiction, part personal memoir, but she really doesn't make it too personal. It's really like reading a history book. Like, she did her research. She was not playing around. Do not be fooled. I think she pulls you in with the title of The Tangled History of Black Hair Culture, but you are learning about Black culture all around with this book. So it's just, y'all gotta do it. Number 9, The Book of Secrets, Unlocking the Hidden Dimensions of Your Life by Deepak Chopra. Another Shadi's book club pick. Talk about transformative. We know that Deepak doesn't play. I also have a full review of this up because I always have full reviews up of any Shadi's book club book that we read. But this one right here, y'all, if you haven't read The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success or The Power of Now, I probably recommend that you read those two first, just so you can really understand what he's saying, because this was deep. Okay, we had to pause. That's what everyone was saying in book club. It's like, I need to pause after a couple pages and think about what the hell he just said, because he goes there. Really, really goes there. But man, like I said, transformative to say the least. Number 8, Daring Greatly by Brene Brown. If y'all have been following me, y'all know I love Brene Brown and anything she writes. This one is about how the courage to be vulnerable transforms the way we live, love, parent, and lead. Brene Brown is a shame researcher, vulnerability researcher. This book just teaches you so much about yourself and how to have difficult conversations and how to let things go and how to believe in yourself. It's just like a chicken soup for the soul. That's how Brene makes me feel. I would recommend starting with The Gifts of Imperfection if you're new to Brene. just so you can like understand like the language and the terminology that she uses, because it's pretty similar throughout all of her books. But Daring Greatly is a must read, especially if you are a leader of any sorts or you're trying to like build up those leadership skills. Like, you have to know how to handle shame and vulnerability, y'all. Number 8, Vibrate Higher Daily by Layla Delia. This book is so powerful. Read a portion of this on Shadi Speaks. Everybody loved it. I don't think everyone has like loved a book so much, and I can't wait to read it again. This teaches you all about vibrations, the energy that you're putting out, the energy that you are receiving. She talks about her dark night of the soul, which I love that terminology to describe, depression, or not, if you don't want to call it depression, those dark times that you go through, those trials and tribulations that eventually turn into lessons, those mistakes that eventually turn into growth. So powerful. Number 6, we have Jesmyn Ward again with Salvage the Bones. This was actually our most recent pick for Shadi's book club, so I haven't done a full review yet because we just had our last meeting. But y'all, talk about a book that will make you think, because Shadi Reads is your go-to source for books that make you think and then think again. So I'm not going to say too much because I want to do a full review, but we could not stop talking about it in book club. It's like we would talk about something and be like, oh, wait, that leads into this. And then that leads into this. And it's like you could literally just like keep going and going. Amazing, amazing novel. Number 5, The Mountains Sing by Nguyen Phan Kim Mai. All I will say is if you like homegoing, if you like Transcendent Kingdom, you will love this book. Follows a family in Vietnam, set against the backdrop of the Vietnam War. It's packed with emotion. It will leave you feeling something, and you won't be able to stop thinking about the characters. Number 4 is A Woman Is No Man by Itaf Rum. I'm realizing I have read a lot of fiction this year. Like, fiction is really doing it for me right now. But I read this book because of the next book we're going to talk about. But this is set in Palestine and in Brooklyn. I loved reading it. It has that generational trauma theme that The Mountains Sing has, that Homegoing and Transcendent Kingdom have. So if you like those kind of books, or if you like books that shift perspective every chapter, like shift narrators every chapter, then you will absolutely love this book. It's really good. You have to read it. Number 3 is Against the Loveless World by Susan Abuhawa. So like I said, I read A Woman Is No Man because I finished Against the Loveless World, and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm obsessed with these women in Palestine. Like, their stories are just speaking to me. But it started with Against the Loveless World. The main character, Nar, is just everything. I want to be her best friend. If there's a character in a book whose friend I want to be, it's Nar's. I don't even want to tell y'all too much about what it's about because you can read the inside flap for that. But she's a warrior, she's a badass, she's a survivor, she's everything you need. And it's just a really good story. And you will learn a lot about Palestine and the issues going on in Palestine right now. So not only is it an amazing, beautiful read, it's an informative one, which we love. Number 2 is Paradise by Toni Morrison. I love Toni Morrison. That's all I can really say. This book is a mystery. And I've never really read like a thriller or a mystery before, but this was just amazing. I would wake up and be like, oh my God, I can't wait to read Paradise. Like, it's just filled with so many characters, and Toni Morrison, like, it's not chronological. You're gonna finish the book leaving a little confused, but feeling very satisfied. There's really nothing more I can say. I love this. My grandma gave me this copy, and I love that it's like an older copy, so it's very special to me. And I love the back. But yeah, Paradise, really, really good if you're like in for a ride, because those women in the convent, they're up to no good. Number 1, y'all, number 1, The Death of Vivek OG. Oh my God, by Akwake Emezi. Okay. Let me relax. This is the review. You will never stop thinking about Vivek. You will literally never stop thinking about Vivek. I bought this book because there was a little written review under it by one of the store employees, and it basically said it will break your heart and you won't be able to stop thinking about it. And I love books like that because I'm just like emo girl, sad girl, whatever. Like that's my vibe, I guess. But seriously, just read it, be ready to cry, and just be ready to be like, I never really knew Vivek at all. All right, y'all, those are the 25 books that I've read this year, going in order from my least favorite to my most favorite. Like always, I will leave all of the books mentioned linked in the description so you guys can check those out. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Y'all know the drill. Let me know what you want to see next. Let me know if you like this video. Also, let me know what y'all have been reading this year and what your goals are, because it's really nice to set a reading goal and, meet it or even exceed it, okay? Don't forget to take your sea moss, breathe easy, have a fantastic rest of your day.